The 4x4 final, St. Mary Tech, Titchfield, Oberlin High, Morant Bay High, St. Mary High, St. Thomas Tech, and Port Antonio. Port Antonio, solid team at 400 meters and 4x4 and 800 meters. Might be able to raise their flag here as we get going for the last girls event of Eastern Champs 2023. The girls 4x4. St. Mary High have the record 352.92, and it's St. Mary High who blaze out on the first leg and take command on the stagger. Further out on the left hand side is a rampaging Port Antonio High team hustling for speed in lane number 7. It's yellow versus claret as this team on the screen moves forward to close out a majestic girls performance at Eastern Champs. They've closed a stagger on the team on the outside, Port Antonio. They're running side by side, but in truth, the stagger devoured by St. Mary High in the yellow suit. It's St. Mary High who racing to exchange and looking the strongest, and here make the first exchange in front. It's St. Mary High, the first leg 57.0 seconds for the team in the lead in the championship overall by a gigantic margin. They skate off from that curve and come into the backstretch as the staggers unwind with a 15-meter lead. Port Antonio, they've been so good all day long for 2 days in pursuit of the champions and find themselves with an impossible task on the 4x4. It's Port Antonio. David Riley of Excelsior said if you don't win anything else, win the 4x4. For Port Antonio, if you've won everything else, win the 4x4 as well. They're in command here. Port Antonio relinquish the challenge. This team in front looks like Shante Price motoring for St. Mary High through the second leg. The baton pass made safely, 57 flat, so back-to-back 57s for St. Mary High on the first 2 legs. The lead growing. A busy third leg for Port Antonio. Their Class 1 400 runner-up, trying to make up some ground, but can't catch up to St. Mary High on this third leg so far. The gap is closing a bit. She's hustling and speeding through this leg, but still St. Mary High have the margin, are in command and motor into the straightaway towards a victory in the last event for girls at Eastern Championships. It's outstanding running by St. Mary High as they close in on lifting the trophy. 2 legs at 57 apiece, and now the glory leg. Here's the pass. 57.9, so 3 legs at 57 for St. Mary High. They're in command. This now is quite a big lead. Looks like Clark Giddings running anchor for Port Antonio, but with a big job to do.
Yeah, she does have a big job to do to close the gap and maybe pose a challenge for St. Mary High. But a very, very good third leg from Shante Price. Opened up, but it was the second leg that really got them going. But it's a very good run. But Port Antonio through Clark Giddings is really gaining on St. Mary High.
Big leg by Port Antonio, closing in on the ankle leg on St. Mary High. These are the champions. Green and gold, the color to watch at Eastern Champs. A big win the team title challenge. They want to wrap it up with gold in the 4x4. Can Clark Giddings close in? St. Mary High flailing and flustered down the stretch. Clark Giddings closing in on them and coming through now is Port Antonio. St. Mary right at the finish, right together. 3:49.48. Did Clark Giddings get there just in time to steal away the last gold medal of the Girls' Championship here at Eastern Champs? That was mighty close.
A new record. So it actually is Port Antonio